I felt he used too many onions, but it was still a very good sauce.
Vinny, don't put too many onions in the sauce.
Who was Thomas Agro, the real Vinny from the movie Goodfellas, and shooter of Tommy? Thomas Agro was a New York gangster with the Gambino crime family who run a lucrative bookmaking and gambling operation in Florida. Born in New York November 29, 1931, in 1975 or 1976, Agro became a made man or full member of the Gambino crime family. Agro, who was sponsored for membership by Joseph and Gallo, the family consigliere, and worked under Joseph Amon, one of Paul Castellano's most trusted associates. While Agro was never promoted above street-level soldier, he enjoyed a privileged relationship with family boss Paul Castellano. During this period, Agro was sent to prison for bookmaking. By 1976, Agro was dividing his time between New York and Palm Beach County in Florida. Agro chose mobster Joseph Iannucci as his representative. Iannucci enjoyed the attention and respect he received when Agro was in Florida. The two mobsters frequent the top night spots and betting tracks. It was while at the Greyhound racing tracks that Agro coined Iannucci's nickname Joe Dogs. Iannucci was given free rein to operate on behalf of Agro and Gambino crime family. Iannucci operated bookmaking and loan sharking while engaging in the occasional robbery and burglary. When Agro's sponsor Joseph and Gallo visited Florida, Iannucci would look after him. In 1980, the Agro-Iannucci relationship began to fizzle. Agro had previously lent Iannucci a sizable amount of money to be used to facilitate a loan shark book. Iannucci was supposed to pay Agro several basis points a week. Iannucci would then offer loans to fellow criminals and gamblers at several additional points. The difference, called the spread, would be Iannucci's profit. Iannucci would hold several weeks or months worth of interest, delivering it to Agro whenever he visited New York at other times. Agro would visit Iannucci in Florida to collect the interest. Agro had plans to invest the legal interest into legitimate businesses. However, Iannucci soon fell several months behind in delivering the money to Agro. Later in 1980, while fishing in New York, Iannucci deliberately snubbed Agro. On January 19, 1981, the enraged Agro found Iannucci at the Don Ridge Pizzeria on Singer's Island, Florida, and several beat him with a baseball bat. After surviving this attack, Iannucci decided to start working as an informant for the FBI. Since Iannucci had been assaulted with a bat, the FBI agents appropriately dubbed the case Operation Home Run. Iannucci now paid Agro the delinquent money with funds supplied by the FBI, and Agro welcomed him back to the family. Iannucci now wore a hidden listen device whenever he met with Agro and other Florida mobsters. On one tape, Agro told Iannucci that he had survived the January attack only because the pizzeria owner's wife entered the room. On one occasion, Agro confessed to the murders of Lucchese associates Anthony DeSimone and Thomas DeSimone. However, Iannucci was not recording at the moment, so Agro was never convicted of these murders. In 1984, Agro was prosecuted at the home run trials in Florida for loan sharking, extortion, and attempted murder after being sentenced to a 15 years federal penitentiary. Agro fled to Quebec, where he was joined by Luann. The couple later moved to Nuns Island section of Montreal, where he deserted Luann for another woman. And Ottawa, later in 1984, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police arrested Agro. He was soon returned to the United States and sent to prison. In 1986, Agro was released from prison due to the inoperable brain tumor. On February 11, 1987, Agro pleaded guilty to federal racketeering charges in a court session held in his hospital room at the Mount Sinai Hospital in New York. Agro died later in 1987.